Welcome to Talk Law Radio with attorney Todd Marquardt of the Marquardt Law Firm at marquardtlawfirm.com.
Welcome back to Talk Law Radio. I'm Todd Marquardt, and we're talking about ethical wills. Is it missing from your estate plan? You probably already have the last will and testament. Probably already have the living will, which in Texas is known as the directive to physicians. You might even have a living trust. But if you don't have the ethical will, your family might be missing out on a piece of you that they will really cherish. And you can write these on a piece of notebook paper. It doesn't even have to be well written or good. Just start putting your thoughts down on paper. Things like blessings that you hope that your family will have, lessons that you've learned, hopes that you have for their future, the values that made you who you are, or just some memories that they can look back on from time to time to remember you. To be, to become, to have, to learn, to share, to overcome, to build, to change, to enlighten, and to give. Or you can talk about war stories. Those are things that people cherish and value. You can talk about your genealogy, your heritage. I used to listen to National Public Radio, and they had this segment called StoryCorps. And their mission was to preserve and share humanity's stories in order to build connections between people and create a more just and compassionate world. A couple of weeks ago, I had a guest, Stuart Waldenmeyer, who talked about using Zoom video conferencing to record yourself, sort of like StoryCorps used to do, telling your story. You record it, and then your family can watch those videos and remember you. Think to yourself, have I fulfilled my purpose? How will I be remembered? Do you want your name on a street sign? Have you ever seen Wurzbach and Vance Jackson? Those were people that built San Antonio. Maybe you'll get your name on a street sign someday. Or do you want a building to be named after you for contributions that you made to a college? I'll have another document that you might want to help you brainstorm about this. And I got the idea from my mom. She had a lot of collectible things that she wanted us kids to have, but she wanted us to know where it came from. And so she would write little Post-it notes and put it on the back of frames and dishes and things like that about what it meant to her. The history of the family was important to her. So I have this worksheet. It says it's not a valid last will and testament. It is your notes about why you made a gift. So I have a column that says, I gave, you describe the thing, to the name of the person you want to receive it, because, and then you write your reason for the gift or the values that it represents or where it came from. And I'll email it to you if you email me at host@talklawradio.com. That's HOST@talklawradio.com. It's a worksheet that helps you describe your values or the reason that you're giving little family knickknacks or heirlooms. I looked up the word ethical, and the definition I got means pertaining to or dealing with morals or to right and wrong in conduct. So I think it's good for you to teach those things to your kids while you're alive or to your friends and family members. And you can also keep teaching after you're gone. Why is this important to you? Well, why is it important to me? Well, my mom's dad, he died young, 60 years old, almost right after he retired from pancreatic cancer. The only thing I remember about my mom's, well, it's not the only thing, but one thing I do remember is that he earned the Purple Heart in Korea, and he had a tattoo of a naked lady on his forearm. Oh, yeah, and he rode a motorcycle. And my mama would tell me that the reason he stopped riding the motorcycle is because he crashed it. And after that crash, she said, it's either me or the motorcycle. He chose her, and she was bragging about it. My dad's dad, on the other hand, he didn't write legacy letters or anything like that, but I do remember what he said. He said, the most important things in life are not things. It's your Lord and Savior and your family. And he was a great example. He was always in church, reading the Bible, or watching youth athletics, faith and family. And it might be important to you because psychologists say that we understand ourselves better when we understand our past and our heritage and our family. You might want to use your ethical will or even the inheritance that you leave to encourage education, educating your offspring or other people's offspring. You can continue teaching from the grave. You can encourage people to take care of those who are less fortunate. And one way that we do this in the Living Trust, we can have a special incentive clause for the beneficiary's trust. You can encourage the beneficiary to pursue an education, whether that's college or trade school or other certificates. You can encourage the beneficiary to be gainfully employed with a view toward being financially self-sufficient. You can encourage the beneficiary to be a law-abiding member of society. You can encourage the beneficiary to be a productive member of society by making meaningful and positive contributions to family, community, and society. You can encourage the beneficiary to engage in entrepreneurial activities. You can encourage the beneficiary to engage in creative activities. You can encourage the beneficiary to handle money responsibly and avoid wasteful spending. You can encourage the beneficiary to act with empathy, thoughtfulness, kindness, and compassion toward others. You can encourage the beneficiary to develop healthy and meaningful relationships. You can encourage the beneficiary to make contributions of time, money, or both to charity. You can encourage the beneficiary to maintain a physically and mentally healthy lifestyle. And then you can decide whether you want another trustee to supervise your beneficiary to make sure that they are exhibiting those positive behaviors and avoiding the negative behaviors. You can make their inheritance conditional on those things. It just depends on how important it is to you. Does it matter to you what your beneficiaries do with their inheritance? If it does, call an attorney at Marquardt Law Firm, 210-530-4278. Call Marquardt Law Firm at 210-530-4278. And an attorney can talk to you about those incentive provisions for a trust. Do you want to leave something more meaningful than a fistful of cash to a bunch of greedy and ungrateful family members? Maybe the only thing you have to leave is your integrity, your character, or a chance to be remembered when you don't have the money to get a building named after you. It could serve as a therapeutic goodbye for you or for them. So if the last will states what the gift is, the ethical will can explain why you're giving it. This might help shape how they remember you. Former presidents of the United States like to write their memoir. The reason they do that is because they want to have a hand in shaping how history remembers them and what they accomplished in their office. How will people remember you? How would you want to be remembered? What you did, what you said, how you made them feel? Here's a quote from Sir Isaac Newton. "I don't know what I may seem to the world, but as to myself, I seem to have been only like a boy, playing on the seashore and diverting myself now and then in finding a smoother pebble or a prettier shell than the ordinary, whilst the great ocean of truth lay all undiscovered before me." You can always write your own obituary too. Here's one that I found. Veteran Pillsbury spokesman Poppin' Fresh died yesterday of a severe yeast infection. He was 71. Known to friends as Brown and Serve, Fresh was an avid gardener and tennis player. Fresh was buried in one of the largest funeral ceremonies in recent years. Dozens of celebrities turned out, including Mrs. Buttersworth, California Raisins, Hungry Jack, Aunt Jemima, Betty Crocker, the Hostess Twinkies, and Skippy. The graveside was piled high with flowers as longtime friend Aunt Jemima delivered the eulogy, describing Fresh as a man who never knew how much he was needed. Well, that's it for Talk Law Radio. I'm Todd Marquardt. I'll talk to you later.
This has been Talk Law Radio with attorney Todd Marquardt, brought to you by the Marquardt Law Firm. You can learn more at marquardtlawfirm.com. And be sure to listen to the full Talk Law Radio show Saturday mornings at 11 on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
Most families don't realize they have hidden legal blind spots until it's too late. Wills, trusts, Medicaid planning, even protecting a business. These are the kinds of issues attorney Todd Marquardt helps uncover before they become problems. Todd is the host of Talk Law Radio, where each week he guides listeners through the legal challenges families, veterans, and business owners face, while showing them the practical steps to protect what matters most. Catch Talk Law Radio, Saturdays at 11 a.m. on 9:30 a.m. The Answer, 6:30 a.m. The Word, and now in Houston on AM 1070 and 103.3 FM The Answer, or anytime on YouTube. Planning isn't just about documents. It's about peace of mind, security for loved ones, and building a legacy that lasts. Don't wait for a crisis. Do it before you die.